All right. Welcome to the midweek check-in. Actually, I want to start with this. No incense for the midweek check-in. We're going straight for the strong stuff. I want to cleanse and protect myself and release negative energy from what I'm thinking, from what I say, because I love to stay positive, from what I see, from what I hear, from what I touch and do with my hands, and how I feel, because we are healing a lot this week and until the end of the year from Chiron in retrograde in Aries. But before that, no cap, yes cap. And I'm talking Capricorn, not lies. Real truths, real healing, real transformation. Thank you for joining Addicted to Astrology. I'm TMZ. So I have both sticks because one is for, the white sage is for, the smudge stick is for releasing negative energy, and the Palo Santo stick is for protection and bringing in positivity. So you either do both. If you only have the smudge white sage stick, you want to open a window, but I'm trying to keep the humid air from the Washington, D.C. streets out of this home. So I just light both sticks in order to get both effects going on. All right, and I always stay hydrated, so let me take a sip on this July 15th. 2020 is 6 minutes after 11:11. I was getting my look together at the last minute because I just started working from home yesterday, y'all, and I got a good government temporary job because, again, my 10th house is telling me to move on with my careers and think about making a career out of my own instead of working a job. So I took this temporary job. It looks good on my resume, but I plan on just using the funds to fund my own business, as well as all the other information I got this week to make these things really happen. So no cap on that. Yes, Capricorn in Jupiter, Capricorn in Pluto, and Capricorn at home in Saturn have really motivated me lately, beginning with that lunar eclipse, even a solar eclipse in Cancer, back in the beginning of this Cancer season, and we are leaving this Cancer season. Next time you see me, it'll be Leo season, or a few days before Leo season, actually. But we are going into Leo season next week. So the astrology of 2020 alone, and its themes and its timings and its area of potentials that we are all receiving now. No, it's not just me. In this second half of the 2020 year, this year, I'm more on the grateful side now. I'm thinking more positive about it. I'm thinking like it's a year that really needed to happen. Otherwise, we would have still been stuck as a collective. And I feel like that the tough energies that Capricorn brings, the structure, the masculinity that is so harsh and rough sometimes, the power struggles, you know, along with all the other planets and their signs that they're in, especially in Neptune and Pisces, and all these planets being in retrograde, it is really just not something we need to think negative of. It's something that we really needed to happen on this earth, with this earth's beings, us being human beings, with the animals, the oceans, the land, the air, and the fire above, the sun was the fire above, that all just needed to redo, regenerate, review, all those things that come with retrograde. So that's why the name of this is episode 12.5, no cap, yes cap. Because what is in your life right now that is changing? Does it have to do with your goals? Does it have to do with something career-wise? It's really time to get in a serious formation, like Beyonce likes to say. That's her song. Let's get in formation and really just work hard and push these lessons to get learned so we can move into the new era that is definitely coming, whether we learn them or not. These Capricorn retrograde planets are giving like reality checks. Capricorn is also the third realm, meaning it's the last sign, it's the goat sign, it's the mastering sign of the earth signs. Capricorn is the goats of all the zodiac, and we are really taking on responsibility in all areas of life right now under all these planets in retrograde in Capricorn. And they're all in Capricorn. I'm gonna actually show you a clip of retrograde so that we can see everything's in retrograde now, including Chiron, that we'll talk about after Capricorn, the other Capricorn planets. But most of these planets are in retrograde until the end of the year, which means most of these things that we're learning and the changes and the transformations is happening, and the expansion that we're receiving, the downloads that I receive every day, the energy I receive every day, the things I'm grateful for now that I looked past before, the changes that are happening. We should all just feel in harmony with them instead of against them. There's a plethora of energies going in this earth right now, and we're coming into preparing ourselves for moving forward, like I said, into the new. Because once these retrogrades are over and these planets go direct, Jupiter as well as Saturn both are going to go into Aquarius, which is that innovative, new, everything about the collective coming together and building anew and creating new things will come into play. And we are preparing for it now. We're preparing with these retrogrades, learning how to maneuver this new life coming. Cleansing is also needed. It's so important, especially in a retrograde in Chiron that we're going to tie to these Capricorn planets. But there's like a lingering, there's like a debris going on right now, so to speak, if you can picture this in your mind right now. There's a debris of leftover lessons that we have not learned, and that's what retrogrades are all about. The planets going through their stages and then coming backwards once they go through their stages. For example, Saturn coming back into Capricorn where it's home before it goes again direct into its next round of signs, starting with Aquarius. So it's home when it comes back home, or a planet like Mercury when it goes into retrograde, because it moves so fast and revolves so fast around the sun. It doesn't matter if it's in home or not, but it just comes back to where it last was before it went retrograde, if that makes sense. Some of these particles of lessons that we are learning, or particles of our past life, is what I'm trying to say. These things have been lingering around, waiting for us to learn from them. Old cycles, certain behaviors that we just need to end at this point. Like, they're not serving us in our best way anymore. There are situations that we put ourselves in, the way we use authority even. How do you use your power? How are you keeping yourself from dominating others, or dominating yourself, or restricting yourself? How are you having some authority or authority figures in your lives? How are they affecting you? This could be, again, from childhood, because Saturn is like a father planet. Any masculine energies that you have felt had authority in your life are not fitting anymore, and you feel them not fitting anymore, and you can't really force what doesn't fit anymore, right? So any of these have had a dramatic or damaging or traumatic experiences that have given you the sense of where do you fit in and what is your purpose now, and why are you still putting yourself through these kind of things. And even like with Neptune and Pisces, how you put certain things in the back of your mind so that either you become delusional about them, or you lie about them, or you also don't want to take responsibility for them. Those are the same kind of energies like any other planet in retrograde is. It's something that you have not grasped, that is not going to work until you figure out how to grasp it and release it, process it, release it. So there's a reason, and that is where Capricorn energies come from. These Capricorn energies, the Capricorn energies are giving you these hard lessons. Capricorn, again, is that father sign. It's like telling you, pushing you out on the bike without the training wheels kind of situation. It's also being an earth sign. It's how we organize, or how we are seen if we are successful in one area, how we recognize our reputation on earth and society. This is my toughest part, and why I have my Saturn is in the 10th house, which is the Capricorn house, and it's in Leo. So there's a lot of self issues I have. I also have a first house stellium, which has to do with the first sign in Aries, those fire energies. I'm not going to get too lost into that, into myself, because I got some other things I want to bring up about myself to see if you can relate, or even give you just examples of. But it's actually why I like my Capricorn moon as well. My Capricorn moon keeps my emotions kind of intact, even though I'm that boiling water Scorpio intense degree even, and Scorpios go through a lot of emotions, but my Capricorn moon kind of keeps me a little bit grounded sometimes. But like, I also like life lessons and challenges, because the burdens and even the bones that are hidden in the closet, once I realize how those things shape me, I don't dwell on them. I'm learning to now. I am not letting it beat myself. I'm not beating myself up about it either. And the experiences in the past that I've been on, have been like even a movie just this year. This year is probably a movie for everybody. It's not just me, but it's like being written into history books. It's like knowing that I did good through this. I will be successful, and there is a new era that I'm really appreciating coming in. And before anything can come in, like I said, all these lessons have to be learned, or will be learned, regardless if you learn them or not. I guess that's saying, like, even if you're resistant to this, something is still going to change about everyone on this earth within the next half of this year. So the particles of this year, all the supposed wars, all the lives lost, all the shutdowns and the restrictions and all, are waking us all up. It's giving us, as a collective, a new shape of life as we know it. That's what the end of life as we know it means. This is the end of an era in many ways, in Capricorn ways, in Pisces ways, in Aries ways. It's all based on the retrogrades and the signs that are affecting the planets that are in retrograde and the comet Chiron. So your life wants you to be more open-minded right now. That'll be the best way to move through this in a orderly Capricorn fashion. You are going to be moving at a higher level, thinking at higher vibrations. Right now, everybody's on low vibrations with distractions. So once you go into this third realm style like Capricorn is, this higher level, this GOAT, this mastery position, especially when Saturn goes into Aquarius, you will be more prepared. You will be more innovative. You'll be more creative with how you're living in every step of the way. And it'll be fitting, especially for the time. So there's no need to worry. Push through all this the best you can. All right, when we get to Chiron in Aries in retrograde, we will definitely discuss how you can push through some of these and heal from some of these wounds that have probably been going on since childhood within you. On your natal charts, by either looking online for free, astro.com, Cafe Astrology, some of the apps like CoStar. I use Time Passages. I really love Time Passages. Those are the best ways, of course, to find what you have in Capricorn, like what we're talking about, or what you have in the 10th house. So like the 10th house, I'm bringing up because that is my Capricorn house. The 10th house is a Capricorn house, and you want to look on your chart to see where your 10th house is. My Mars is also in the 10th house, and this is like talking about needing to purge things, especially from home and family settings, especially from all the masculine energies. And there's nothing wrong with masculine energies because we all have them. However, the female energy is more known to heal. The masculine energy is more known to restrict. So this is when I get excited about the masculine energy healing, because me personally, I have seen masculine healing energy, especially this past weekend. I told you on episode 12 on Sunday about the 2 X's on the last 2 days of Mercury retrograde. I have a little bit more to tell you in a second about a couple more. But everyone will be purging until about December. And then when Saturn and Jupiter both enter in Aquarius, it'll be like a synodic cycle, which has to do with the sun, and they both are moving, especially the end of the year is the end of Capricorn. I mean, it's the middle of Capricorn, and Capricorn goes into the new year, but not with those 2 planets, but we will be entering Aquarius like right after that, right? So all this newness is coming in, especially in January at the end of the first month. So bringing in clarity, going into the new world and the new year, it's going to be like we're all at an educated level. We're all at this mastery level. We all have higher vibrations. Like I said, the Pluto and Capricorn energy will still be there, transforming us for another 3 years, I believe. I definitely got it. Y'all know me in dates. I come back though with them. I do come back with them. But the Pluto and Capricorn energy will still be giving us that transformational, that change, that destructive energy of connections with people that still need to reach completion, and connecting with certain people and changing the vibe with that, taking that vibe higher, right? instead of it being low, especially with people that you had issues with, especially with those masculine energies. So where I'm going with this is, Friday was one ex that came over. We hugged it out, talked about loving each other and all this stuff. I knew him since the beginning of 2010. Saturday, an ex that, long story short, had to choose me and his wife. I told him chose his wife. He came back. I don't do married people, but I appreciate us connecting. I appreciate us connecting and just hashing out some things that we've always wanted to say. Then Sunday, I believe, what's today? Today is Wednesday, y'all. Sunday, I think I had a break. With talking to exes. Then Monday, at my daughter's birthday party, and I had to look over her to make sure she's resting, but her dad, my ex, and I, had a wonderful proud parent moment, came together for our daughter. We really never had any issues, but we ended up hugging it out too, just because it was a good place that we were in, and it was a good moment to see our daughter so happy, especially because she hasn't been around family and friends from the lockdown. And then on yesterday, Tuesday, my father who I reached out to right on that solar eclipse day on the first day of Cancer. I could tell he wanted to heal, but he wasn't ready. And all through this Cancer season, he's been randomly on my page checking like. I know I've told this story before, but yesterday he checked like 10 things. 10 things in a row. I'm not going to put him out there. I'm not going to screenshot him and show y'all. But I feel my father healing in his own way, and I'm cool with it. I'm grateful for it. Thank you, TD. All right, so, and then today I was talking to my soulmate, and we lost touch around my birthday. And his birthday, he's a Leo, and he did say that it was a few things that turned him off about me, but he's glad we came back together, because interesting enough, we are sapiosexuals. Like, we have went there, and when we went there, it was awesome, but we love to talk to each other. Like, we turn each other on just by talking to each other, and it's not in a sexual way or a romantic way even. It's just the knowledge we both have. It's so attracting to each other, and it's just good to have somebody like that you can talk about anything, and you have similar mindsets. So all these masculine energies I'm trying to talk to y'all about, and this good Scorpio loving all of me stuff, but all these masculine energies are definitely healing. All the men I talked about, I hurt to the bone with my own masculine energies. Like, I can be very vicious with my mouth and my hands. Even at the beginning of Mercury retrograde, I had to sit down with my ex-husband, and we had a lot of healing going on. And we have reached a completion level of not being angry with each other for over a decade. Me and him have not been able to be cordial for over a decade. And it's just, me and my dad haven't been able to be cordial in 8 years. Me and this guy, 8 months almost. My soulmate. The other guys, the exes that hit me on the last 2 days of Mercury retrograde, that was a long period of time too with everybody. It's interesting how this Mercury retrograde, which always brings back exes, this time they brought them back and we healed. Like, they just didn't bring them back off some goofy, I'm trying to get back in your pants stuff. This was real live conversation. And Mercury was also in Cancer, the healing sign. Venus is in Gemini, the love sign, the communicating, and all this ties together. Hopefully it makes someone else see some kind of revelations and aha moments and healing going on. And I'm really tapping into what you need to do to keep it going. hopefully you're out there, because I know I'm here and I'm loving it. So just wrapping up, talking about no cap, yes cap. Capricorn, anything you have overworked, over tried, overspent, graduated from, you know, not dealing with anymore. The breakdown of all this actually helps yourself. It actually helps us individually break down inside while the collective is breaking down on the outside. And these breakdowns, even if 2 to 5% of us in this whole world of billions of people, even if 2 to 5 of us learn these lessons, 2 to 5% of us learn these lessons, our energies will affect the entire planet, inward and outward. You know, like, our energies will still shift the collective. And I feel that deeply, just coming from my one self, 1 out of 60 billion, however many people there are, 600 billion in this world. But even if just those little things, like multiple energies are shaking up in the earth, in the universe right now. So even if just a small portion of us grasp what the universe is trying to tell us, it'll still affect everyone else, because we will be on such higher vibrations that certain people will have no other choice other than to say, like, hey, what is it like up there? Let me try. This is kind of the era that we're moving into, is what I'm saying. And even without knowing what you have to do to get to that point, to get to be the 2 to 5% I'm talking about, even without having to know, it's like we're moving with these higher vibrations, with all these energies, with all these downloads. That's what I'm talking about, with like information coming in, with all these delusions even coming from social media and mainstream media. There is really still a good ending to all this. Okay, there really still is a better life, and it's coming no matter what. Like I said, there's not going to be what happened the good old days. There's not going to be going back to the same. This is something that is definitely going to another direction that we have never been in before. And like I said, it's coming whether you want it to or not, but you'll want it to once we get there. And Chiron also just, it didn't just enter Aries. It's actually been in Aries for a few months. It was in Pisces. Chiron was in Pisces the decade before. So Chiron is normally like 2 to 8 years, depending, and I still am looking for the answers. If anybody can help me with that, why is Chiron in some signs for 2 years, up to some signs in 8 years? I don't get that one. I'm telling you, it's a lot in astrology to study, but I will find out for you. So Chiron just left Pisces. Pisces being that sign that has a little bit of everybody in them, though. So picture life with thinking totally different than you have planned better for. Like, Pisces escapes from things. They puts things in the back of their mind like it's not there, like it's not bothering them. And this is where we just came from. I'm going to explain that in 1 second, but I just want to also touch on before I leave the Capricorn part of this episode, businesses are changing too permanently. So how can we learn from things shutting down even, or if we have our own businesses or jobs that have shut down, and these restrictions are real in our lives right now, because a lot of us are still, I'm thankful that I have a new position and something, but they're, telling me still that if something happens, then they might have to shut back down too. So all this is real, but how in the no cap that's actually, the Capricorn, how are these energies that we are feeling how are they gonna newly shape us? That is something that we individually and collectively have to wait and see. The whole Neptune and Pisces piece as well in retrograde is helping us see what is in plain sight, especially every day there's some kind of distraction that is distracting us from the things that we see in plain sight. And for example, the latest is Megan Thee Stallion being shot with Tory Lanez, right? Could that be distracting? Anytime you hear some random news, could that be distracting you from something else? That's the whole purpose of these retrogrades, especially Neptune and Pisces. Could that really be what we need to know right now? Or is there something that we're not paying attention to? Could this be how we really need to feel? Do we really need to fear something? Or do we really need to think things through? Let me say that again, because fear is huge in this planet right now. You don't have to have knowledge of something to know it's going to be all right. You don't have to know what's really hidden in the secrets doing the work in the back end to know that it's going to get worked out. What you do need to do is think for yourself individually and not sit here in fear and not sit here and say, I need to stay in the house until we're unmasked or something crazy like that. Like, think of how to make it through until the universe and the divine time has worked everything out. Think about it and don't just sit and be stuck. That Capricorn energy at the mastery level we're in now, meaning that it's in its higher 20 degrees, 20 something, right? Think Capricorn is, I know it's in since it's going in retrograde and it just came back out of Aquarius back at the beginning of July, it's going to be at 24 degrees before it goes direct again. And then when it goes direct again, it goes back up to 29 degrees. When it gets to 29 degrees, the next degree is 0 in Aquarius. That'll be happening in the next 4 months. So, the Saturn placements also, not only the Capricorn placements that you have on your birth chart, will definitely show you these energies and connections you need to make. Even the house too, like where your 10th house, right? Where your 10th house sits will tell you how you need to ride all this out. Look at your Saturn and your Capricorn and your 10th house to see what you came on Earth for. And the other natal energies that you have on your chart will all align once you figure that out. I know for a fact, using myself as an example again, me having the 10th house in Saturn means that I really need to change my careers. And it is working for me at this moment. I was a fearful person of where my money was coming from. Once I get into Chiron too, my Chiron is in Taurus. That's the money sign. I worry about money all day. Then I have the Capricorn moon. These earth signs are definitely giving energies around money and career life and perfection, even with Virgo. I don't have much Virgo in mine, but those are the energies. The earth energies are giving these worries, these fears of the unknown, especially around finances and work and businesses and career and reputation and all those kind of things. So Shout out really quick to the YouTube astrologers that I studied from this week. Molly McCord is her name. I forgot her last name last week. And then I met I found a new person named Butterfly Healing. She has a few subscribers, so I feel like she's really new, but she has some really good videos. And she is a black young lady, and I just really liked listening to her. She was a lot shorter than I am, so let me speed this up. All right, so I think I said a year like this is very necessary. Like I already said, it's like all of us are maturing, we're all expanding, we're all transforming. All those placements, especially that have to do with Capricorn and these planets of those certain things. The new moon in Leo is coming in 3 days, actually, on the 19th. So Leo season is approaching. I believe Leo season starts shortly after that, on the 21st. And what's so important to me about the new moon in Leo, is that was the moon. The last new moon in Leo in 2019 was a moon that I did a serious ritual with, and I made Florida water for my first time. Florida water is good for the cleansing baths that you need to do around moon cycles, like the new moon and the full moon, to release old things. And I released myself from LA. Wish I hadn't, but for some reason I did. Went to Vegas on August the 1st. So the last Leo moon was July the 31st, 2019. And here we are having the next Leo moon. I'm going to show y'all. I still got a little bit of Florida water left. I'm going to actually use it all up on the new moon coming up. So I'll show you all that on Sunday. But okay, back to Chiron and talking about Chiron all together now. And then we're going to wrap this episode up for the midweek check-in. Thank you for checking in with me. So, Chiron, what is Chiron? Chiron is a comet. It's not a planet like the others. It's not a constellation like the rising sign or the ascendant. It is an actual comet. Most of these names like Chiron come from Greek mythology as well as astrology. So in Greek mythology, Chiron was a centaur, like a Sagittarius is, half human, half horse, and he was famous for just same things that Sagittarius is famous for his philosophy, his knowledge of religion, his knowledge of sciences. It's his higher knowledge, higher learning thing. He also did travel amongst the countries and heal people. He is known as the wounded healer. So sometimes when you are a healer, you are wounded yourself. He would make medicines that were healing for him as well as healing for others. So once he healed others, he also healed himself based on the medicines that he created. That is an awesome story. Not sure if I always believe in Greek mythology, but it has to be some kind of connections, because even the planets are named after Greek mythology. So there has to be some kind of connection. The same thing with the Bible. There has to be some kind of connection. I don't fully believe in certain parts of the Bible, but there is a connection. It's all kind of connected together. Astrology, the Bible, Greek mythology, all those things are connected. Most of it is real. Astrology is definitely real. So I'm not going to say most with that. It's definitely real. But so Chiron was discovered in the 1970s. He orbits around the sun like the other planets, even though he's a comet. But since he does orbit around the sun like the other planets, that means he affects us. So Chiron is on your astrology birth charts. It is not on mine, but like I said, in honor of Chiron healing this world right now, I'm definitely going to add him to the birth charts as of the next one I do. So look out for that, whoever is up next. I have been taking a break from birth charts, actually, because of my daughter's birthday and of me starting a new job yesterday too. So it's a lot going on. That's another reason why we're almost 8 minutes into the next day. But and I think I'm going to end this right at the time of the next day of July 16th on the East Coast. So, what was I saying? Oh, let me take a sip of water. So, I was saying Chiron goes around the sun just like the other planets, right? So, it affects us like the other planets, which means it affects us especially when it's in retrograde like the other planets. So, again, retrogrades have to do with completion of cycles, and then they go backwards once they get to the completion step, where they started, right? So Chiron, being the healing planet, it's re-healing, it's retrying to heal, it's reminding to heal, it is revisiting something we need to heal, it is reviewing something we need to heal. And by it being in Aries, it's in its primary state, by Aries being in being the first sign, being the leader sign. So not only is it about action and self, self issues that we're healing from, it's taking action on that and being in Aries. It really affects me personally because I have that first house ascended stellium. Now, we learned all about, I gave brief explanations on houses on Sunday, and I talked about stellium. So just reviewing from that, stelliums are something that we all need to work on. If you don't have houses that are, stelliums are 3 consecutive houses, not consecutive, but 3 houses and planets or more. So I have the first house ascendant in in the Sun and in Mars and in Uranus, I believe. Yes. So first house again represents self issues, and me personally, I'm healing from a lot of self issues, a lot of past self issues, especially at the primary state, being in the first house, being in Aries, being a child. I still cry to this day, and I'm not a crybaby. I cry when I get frustrated, but I still cry from frustration, from things that my parents still don't understand about me, and I'm almost 43, and they're 70-something. Okay? So this will not depress us, though. The healing part, some might think, oh, this is something else we gotta go through because it's in retrograde. The healing part is more positive than negative. Don't get distracted by the retrograde of it. Don't get unfocused with all the illusional energies coming from the Neptune in Pisces retrograde. Don't get hung up on all the lessons you have to learn. Chiron is here to heal all that. Chiron is here to heal all the illusions. The two of my exes that I was talking about from this past few days, have a Pisces moon. They both are super delusional. And I feel that they're healing now because they're saying things that they said before were not right to me, like they really expressed. They're sorry, and that they understood why I did what I did, like me being that triggered Scorpio and wanted to be vindictive. But long story short, it's nothing to worry about with Chiron being in retrograde. It's all healing coming at us, and having revelations and aha moments about the healing that's coming in, the people that are healing around us, the healing that's happening inside us, the healing that's happening to the earth itself. It's so green outside, you could see through our fence, and now the whole fence in 4 months is covered in vines. Things are growing and changing like crazy outside, and because there's not a lot of pollution in the air, because there's not a lot of people driving around, because there's not a lot of people outside littering and stuff, the earth is healing. And once the earth heals, the people heal. Once the people heals, the universe heals. This is how astrology is really real. So, to us, this is going to be better than before. Like I said, everything is tied into the lessons, us moving to the new era of Aquarius. Everything is going to be better than before, especially with Chiron healing things. Again, my father will maybe, under the way he was thinking at first, just a couple of weeks ago, he was thinking, nah, we're not going to heal. We need to stay away from each other. And maybe now I'm thinking that he knows he's wrong for saying that, because he knows he really wants to heal and he really wants me back. You know, long story short, I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all, I had a rough, abusive childhood with my father. I wrote a whole book about it, y'all. It'll come out when it comes out. I'm going to stop saying when it comes out. It's going to come out when it comes out. But once I had my own kids, I feared for them being around him, because I don't want anything that I went through to happen to them because they're around him. So he mentioned that he would straighten my kids out for me, and I was like, nah, son, you know, nah, you ain't doing jack, and if you try, I'm gonna handle that. And I said that to my father, and that totally threw him off for me. He really took it, you know, he took it like I was really gonna do it. And at that point, I felt like that. And at several points in my life, I felt like that. I don't feel like that anymore. I've healed from past pain, and I want him to heal from what I said. That's what we're going through. That's why this is so important right now to me, personally. But we're at the 12 o'clock hour. Let me wrap this up. So just tying this all back again into Chiron, and quickly, I'm not going to be finished that fast, but quickly going through how do you find Chiron on your chart. And like I said, there's free websites, or I can do it for you. Like, the websites will give you where your Chiron is. It might give you a short general description of it. I call myself doing interpretations, because I dig and find things that make you separate from everybody else who might have the same placements as you, based on your degrees, based on the way everything else looks on your birth chart. So I just spend a little more time and putting a little more effort into it. So your choice. I would get both. I would get a paid one and a free one, just to compare. You always want to compare opinions, compare findings, research. All right, so if you need me, hit me up. I'm on Instagram. TMZ is not my name on Instagram anymore. I changed it. It is Z_Hustle, ZEE_HUSSLE. You can hit me on there and send me a DM. I'm on Facebook, Zakia, ZAKIA. Alex Hate is a play on my maiden name and my last name, ALEXHATE. Okay. Or you can drop me a message right here on the comments. Thank you for liking, subscribing, viewing, and commenting. All right, so let's go through Chiron and all these signs really quick. I'm gonna tell you which one I have. I think I already did, and it's wounds that needs to be healed and advice on how to heal them really quick. So we are in Chiron and Aries, but we're gonna start moving backwards in Chiron and Pisces. So Chiron and Pisces need to heal from the basic characteristics that I always talk about: victimizing themselves, paranoia, self-pity, taking things hard or personally. Having a bruised ego comes from this placement too. So the things you could work on is just having a little bit more self-confidence in yourself, not believing everybody is out to get you, not worrying about everybody being out to get you, noticing when you have moments of feeling like people are trying to attack you, or noticing when you have paranoia, or you're just being hard on yourself and others because of these things you might be making up in your head. All right, so that's one way to heal while we are healing, or because you have that placement on your chart. Pay attention to those characteristics in you. Chiron and Aquarius. You may feel like you don't fit in. Aquarius is always trying to fit into groups, but they still really don't like it. They feel misunderstood. So you just need to put yourself out there still. Everyone is not going to understand you, but somebody will. So even though you really don't want to step out there, it's most important because Aquarius have always something new to give, something innovative to give, and like I said, somebody will be receiving that energy and you will be feeling much better from that. Chiron and Capricorn. This Capricorn energy, I don't know what I want to look up is the times that these times were happening so I can see what people have these kind of placements. But Chiron and Capricorn is feeling the need to control everything. So you will feel out of place, without structure. If you have this placement, some things need to be let go. Like sometimes you need to let go of control. So that is the advice for this one. See how you can release and relax and how good that will feel when you release control. Chiron and Sagittarius. You're feeling like life has no purpose. Sometimes maybe you shift how you think about life because you don't want to feel so down about it. But Sagittarius are free, higher level thinking people. So when you free your own mind, when you let go of those iffy feelings, you will feel better. You will feel healed. Chiron and Scorpio. So I don't have Chiron and Scorpio. I have the polar opposite. I have Taurus, but I am a Scorpio sun. So when you have Chiron in this characteristic, you're thinking of all the obsessions you have, the shadow sides, the feeling misunderstood, just like Aquarius. I totally get this placement because having that Scorpio sun and then that intense degree that I have in 22 degrees, one of the critical degrees, you just feel like, does anyone understand you out here? And you're so misunderstood, and you have such guilt from that sometimes. So I understand how it feels to be misunderstood, Chiron and Scorpio people. And like we said in Aquarius, some people will understand you, and as you transform and heal, your energy will heal others and transform them too. All right, Chiron in Libra, the loner or the lonely person. So Libras love relationships. Libras love to be, in love or in friendships or relationships or partnerships. And if you don't get that, you feel incomplete sometimes. So you might even be sacrificing your own energies or health or whatever, trying to always connect to people when you need to really connect with yourself first. Like, are you in love with yourself? Why would you give out your love when you're the best person? Like Libra is the love sign. They are attractive and attracting, just like Scorpios. So give to yourself more. Chiron and Virgo, you feel like you are not perfect enough. You judge yourself, just like Virgos sometimes judge others. But you need to relax and love on yourself and be more grateful for what you have and who you are, and just heal from that, because you'll make yourself healthy and happy if you let go of some of those perfection type of feelings. You don't have to be perfect. You already are in many ways, especially to others. All right, Chiron and Leo. You are lacking creative abilities, maybe. You feel self-doubt heavy. Leos love to give others compliments and love to receive compliments back. So just learn how to be creative with that. Create, no matter what you feel about what you're creating. Just get into the mindset that you're going to forget about what others think and you're going to care more about what you think. Be more self-loving and be more self-uplifting. All right, Chiron and Cancer. This one hurts because this one has to do with family too. All about not having your emotional needs as a child. You need to learn how to let others care for you as you wanted when you were a child. That inner child in you right now still wants people to care for you, so let them care for you, especially because you didn't get it and you may still be worried about not getting it. So those who have Chiron and Cancer, this is very touching to even think about. These are like the motherless children when I'm thinking about. So heal from that. There is some feminine energy out here that's ready to cling and hug you. There's some masculine energies even ready to do the same thing, so accept them. Chiron and Gemini, you overanalyze some of the things that you're thinking and what you want to say. You overanalyze how the messages or communication you're putting out, and you struggle with communication or expressing yourself. So simply just practice expressing yourself more by just saying what you feel, staying true to you. You know, you will get a better perspective on what you might be trying to heal from, or, you know, getting your point across once you talk to the right person. So the only way you're going to be able to figure that out and heal from that is if you keep talking and keep not being a chatterbox, you know, but like just keep expressing yourself and just find who connects with that. Chiron in Taurus, which is mine, and I have this in 9 degrees, so this still has to do with that primary stage, that preteen stage, I like to say, because Chiron in Taurus deals with your self-worth and your financial and material issues. My whole family, again, is Tauruses, so I know Taurus is like the back of my hand. That is why I probably need to heal from this, because I've never felt like I feel now. Like I do feel worthy. I do feel like my finances are coming together, even though I don't have much in the bank right now. But part of my healing is that I know I'm going to get back up. People that have Chiron and Taurus like me have had it all and then lost it all. So I'm talking about everybody in my year, especially in 1977, has probably Chiron and Taurus. And we don't like to, especially in this area in the DMV, which is a very materialistic, like the DMV could be a tourist city itself. But we're very materialistic here, and therefore we are worried always about finances, or worried about who has what, worried about material things, when we need to just love what we have and be grateful for what we have, and more will come, you know. Last and not least, where Chiron is now. Chiron is in Aries. Chiron and Aries people. Aries is an action sign, the first sign, the leader sign. 12-12 Ashe, I saw 12-12. We're wrapping this up. Aries are in Chiron have problems actually with taking action. You're healing from speaking up from yourself, or you're wounded from that, and you need to heal from that. It's time to go after everything you want. It's time to speak up for yourself. It's time to take action, which is why it's so important by Chiron being in Aries right now. It's time for people to stand up for themselves, you know. I feel like the exes that came to me, even though they didn't actually come with the same BS, they really didn't. But I stood up for myself, you know. And because we gave those energies, because they wanted to heal, and because I wanted to say what I wanted to say, it worked. And we both healed. They heard what I had to say. They empathized with it. I heard what I needed to hear, and it made me feel better. The action we take as a collective with Chiron and Aries in retrograde will show us, once we put 2 and 2 together, kind of speak, once we put the problem in front of the issue in front of the solution, things will heal. Things will be taken action on. People will be felt like they've been heard. People will feel like they can move forward comfortably. Just watch. I swear. Just knowing all this is exciting. I might have taken too long to say it. I always feel like the ending of my show is not only time to go, but it's always the best part. But just taking these energies and flow with it is the theme. No cap, yes cap. Not talking about the lies. I'm talking about the truths. Yes cap, yes Capricorn. Thank you, Capricorn. Thank you, Chiron. Thank you, Aries. Thank you, Cancers. Welcome, Leos. Shout out to my Scorpios. Taurus gang. Gemini, talk your talk. Libras, love us and we love you. Virgos, stay healthy and stay relaxed and true. Capricorns too. I think I already said Capricorn. Who did I leave out? Cancers, I said y'all. Libras, I said y'all. Aquarius. Aquarius, we're ready for y'all. We're ready for the new. Bring it to us. I'm pretty sure I went through everybody. Love y'all. It's TMZ, teaching everyone abundantly, empowering many. Zakia. Enlightening every day. Long day, but I pushed through. So can you. Y'all have a wonderful rest of the week. I will see y'all on Sunday on the new moon in Leo.